I was talking with Rosalind. She's making her character out of some of her clay. We'll show you that pretty soon. It's from her school too. They give you certain things that you can use. She does at-home school, but they have beautiful projects. And I'll show you some of that later on. It's like a whole thing. Isn't a whole set of tools you can use to carve out the clay and everything? It's beautiful. It's really beautiful. You can probably paint it because it's kind of like a whitish color, the clay. Okay, so we'll show you that on one of the other videos, so be staying tuned. But I wanted to show you something that I'm going to make. One moment. Okay, I don't know if you can move it back some. Sorry for the shake. But, like a California earthquake. I want to say it. But anyways, what I was going to do, actually it's not, because it usually goes side to side or this way. Motion. I've been in a couple of them. Not heavy ones, but serious ones. Okay, so what I was going to do is make some frosting. And I just peeked on the internet and I found a frosting with sugar-free. If you don't have any icing to put on your cake or frosting, whatever way you want to call it, you can use vanilla pudding or chocolate pudding or banana, whatever kind. I'm going to use okay, I thought it went out. I'm going to use vanilla, which I was going to use this for that other pie thing that I have. And this is sugar-free, but I've got banana over there too. I found banana, sugar-free. I didn't even know I'd find it. But anyways, I'm using almond milk. So I don't know if anybody watched the other video when I made the chocolate pudding and it wasn't thick. So you don't want to put as much milk in if you're using almond milk opposed to using regular milk. Because, let's see, let's put one of these, and it calls for 3 cups of fat-free milk. But we're going to put 1.5 because it won't make it as thick if you do it. So I had to add another thing of pudding. Let me see if this is the right. 3 cups of cold fat-free pudding. Okay, so we'll put 1.5 instead of the 3 because it will not, maybe even not quite a half, because it doesn't make it as thick. And we're going to whisk it. And hopefully it'll do it. I might put too much, but hopefully not. But anyways, it showed that, and it's like a cream cheese frosting. Yeah, see how it's already thickening? Yeah, just put half of what it says if you're using almond milk. I've got almond milk, and it's unsweetened vanilla. And see how thick it got already? If you're making pudding, because it will not thicken like it's supposed to. Like that. So, I'm just saying, if you really want to use the best non-fattening things. What time is it? 4 minutes left, and I'm going to go uncover the peach cobbler so it can start browning a little bit. Ooh, get that nice brown crust, because I left it covered so our peaches don't overdo it. Let me smell. Can you smell anything? I do smell it, guys. Good. Okay, I'm covering it, and I'll just keep peeking at it. And I'm probably going to put it on for a few more minutes because the crust isn't done. So we'll do down here. Let's look at our cake too. Everything smells good, you guys. It smells so good, and it's not even fattening for you. Okay, so we've got, if you need it a little bit thinner than that, go ahead. But I'm making frosting, so that's thick enough. Let's see. Okay, I had something that wiped off my hand. Okay, don't go there. Okay, so we're going to take 1 ounce of this cream cheese out of here to mix it in. Make us a nice frosting, guys. Might have to be a little bit room temperature. shall we leave it? Because I don't want it, I want it to be thick, you know. Might be okay to put it in there like that, I don't know. Let's check it. Check a little bit and see. Now this is thick enough, the pudding part, okay? See how thick that is? I got the trick here, guys. So they won't fool me anymore whenever I want to make some pudding with the small amount of calories that I can get. Yeah, see, this is smashing in here pretty good, this cream cheese. I think it will do without having to melt it or anything. Wait a minute. Let's check it and see. I might have to melt it a little to get it so that it, you know, it'll blend pretty good. So we're experimenting here. And it's supposed to thicken up a little in here so it can be like a frosting. If not, you can put it on the side, have some pudding with it. Throw it on top, put pudding on top or whatever. But no, I think, uh-oh. Man, I know that's not done. Ooh. Come on. I'll make it again, guys. It's looking really, really good. But we're gonna time it a little longer. Uh-oh. See, don't multitask when it comes to trying to bake for your best. Okay, let's let it set for a few. It didn't melt all the way, so. Okay, let's see. Let's time this baby. Maybe that's for the bottom one. Let's see if they're done. You guys done yet? No, not quite. Almost. That's what they said. They're at the bottom. Ooh, it looks pretty, like a marble. Okay, so you're not done. So we're gonna do a. Okay, we hear you. Let's set our timer again for. I'll put it for like 15 minutes. So just kind of go by what you think, because when you're baking, if you're a baker and you know how to cook, then you can kind of play around with the times. If you're putting more, like if you're doubling your recipe, of course you're going to double your amount of whatever you're putting, right? The times, because it's going to be thicker. And that's right there is thicker. Let's see, make sure it's not hot. It's warm. I go licking fingers. I'm always doing that. I'm not putting my hands in here though. Some people will cook with their hands and that's fine. Fine and dandy, but I don't. Okay, so we're gonna put this in there. I hope nothing happens. Should I let it cool a little bit? It's not really hot though. It's all right. We're gonna stick our cream cheese in there. You can put low fat, you can put regular, whatever. We need fat for the keto. So don't do low fat. Keto food. Okay, we're gonna put it in the fridge. I'm gonna try it. You wanna try this and see if it tastes good? I might have to add, do I have to add some more? It's like a cream cheese. It makes it thick enough. They'll never know that this is, well, I did tell my daughter that I was making this, the one that went to the store with her brother. I'm gonna see if it's, let me, oh, I do have something. Taste it. This isn't really a spoon. That actually tastes like cream cheese frosting. It's very good. Look at that. Looks thick. I'm thinking little more, that'll really do it. Just a little bit more. I gotta save some of this cream cheese for the then make a cauliflower casserole. All right, so cover that up. I'm washing my hands, guys. Okay, because I've licked 2 sides. All right. Let me check. What do we got? We've got beauty coming on. But make sure that cake is like completely cooled off before you put any of that. Because it'll melt that stuff so quick, I'm pretty sure. Soften. Are you softened a little teeny bit more? And this microwave needs cleaning. It really does. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so we're gonna put the rest of this in here. I want to make it real cream cheesy, you know what I mean? I don't know if you can see me making it. Yeah, make sure it's softened because it will not blend very well if it's not. It's going to be lumpy, and like I think I didn't blend it as good as I should have. Hold on, we got this. We're going to do this. We're going to do it. Tooth there. Get me another little spoon. Big spoon, rather. I'm just going to stir it up. How many minutes do I have on here? Okay, good. I thought I added it to the other. I was going, I'm going to want to watch this whole thing. This is a separate thing that I'm going to do for the frosting. Sweetie, do you mind turning the light on for me? It's getting a little dark in here. Just so they can see a little bit. Oh. Both of them if you can. Thank you. Thank you. Is that better? Yes. So it's been a lot. It's been kind of warm today. Warmer than the past few days. It was like, I think it was like 81 today. It's cooling off now though, but it was like in the 70s the past few days, and we loved it. Some people are like, bring on the heat, but I don't want no heat, because this is like, when Palmdale gets hot, in the daytime, but not the nighttime, but the daytime it gets like, California gets like this part of Palmdale gets like Arizona weather. I am not joking. Next week we're supposed to have hundreds, in the hundreds. So it's going to be really, really hot next week. So we better enjoy these 80s and 70s. I know I lived in Illinois when I was little. My dad was in the Air Force. And our summers were like 80s, and that was hot for us. Barely, I don't even know if it got to 90 at all. But it seemed hot to us because we would still get water and, water and play in it and all that kind of thing. We lived on the base, and I don't think they had a swimming pool. At least we never went. And we didn't have a swimming pool because we lived on the base in housing. But before we went to the base housing, we did have our house that we stayed at, and it was, my dad got a pool and put it in the back, and we used to swim in that. And I remember that's where where I was introduced to the beach balls. And I've always loved beach balls ever since. I would get on it and float on it until you learn how to swim. And then it was fun. We had a lot of fun. I'll just keep stirring this because I want to make sure there's no... You could probably blend this. I forgot my daughter got that Ooh, that thing, that, might make a mess though. I was thinking you can blend it in that thing. I think this is fine. You know, I just should have heated it a little longer. Or if I let it set out a little longer, it'll probably kind of melt it up. Let me taste it again. But anyways, so it wouldn't get very hot. Well, it would get hot to us because we were used to like the cold weather. Before we got there, though, we lived in Arizona, and then my dad got stationed in Arizona in different places. We got stationed in Hawaii. He got stationed in. We went to different places all over. He even went to the Philippines, and we lived in the Philippines for a little bit. But we lived in different parts of the country, and then we started out at Arizona, though, so it was hot already. But when we got to Illinois, you know how you adjust to the weather? It snowed pretty tall. Like, sometimes we wouldn't be able to go to school because it was so cold. That's cream cheese frosting. No joke. With a little better flavor to it because of the pudding. You know what I mean? That's pretty good. I'm gonna let it set out though, so I can kind of like get in there good. But that's the frosting we're using for the cake, and I think they'll really enjoy it. So if you don't have any frosting, you can use sugar-free, fat-free Jell-O pudding and cream cheese, and mix them together, and then you'll have a frosting. See the frosting? And it tastes good. It tastes like cream cheese frosting with a little better flavor to it because of the pudding. But anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, we lived in quite a few places. We even went to live with my cousins, and they lived in Ohio, Dayton. We stayed with them for a little bit, and I don't think we ever stayed anywhere else. Where my cousins, I have cousins in Kentucky too, but we never stayed there. Yeah, we might have. I don't remember. I remember going there before, but I don't know if we stayed there where my dad was, because sometimes they would send him somewhere where we couldn't go, like when they went to Thailand, and I did not like getting shot, so they probably were like, let's not take her because I don't want to get no shots. And I still barely, the shot that we have to have, like, well, you don't have to get it, but if you get that the COVID shot, that one doesn't hurt because it goes in the muscle. But, and I don't think the other ones did either. I was just scared because I'm looking at these shots, you know, needles and things, and I'm like, ooh, I'm watching everybody go, and then I'm like, oh my goodness. But anyways, now I don't really mind it so much. I don't like needles, but you know, I can take it pretty much. But anyways, it was not that hot, but when it was hot, like right now it would be summertime, and it was hot to us because we're used to having that above zero freezing temperature. So it was y'all should smell it. And give it a little bit more time. When that beeps, I'm going to take the toothpick and I'm going to check the cakes. But anyways, oh, look at that. Does that look like? I have a dress under here, so. But anyways, enjoyable in Illinois when we were there. We played baseball all the time. It was fun. They had all kinds of things going. Hula hoop, old-fashioned stuff, jacks, marbles, spinning tops. You were never bored as kids, and we never were. And those paddle ball things we played, it's like you switch off, and if the group had something, like the kids around the neighborhood, because we lived on base housing, if the kids around the neighborhood had a certain thing, we'd be like, we need to have that to play, okay. Or we already had it because my dad knew. And those little clicker things, they're like these balls. I don't think, you go to Chinatown here in California and you can get some, but but they don't sell them anywhere else because I think they got banned because people were using those and maybe they'd fly somewhere and break a window or whatever. But they're click clacks, and they were made out of these round. They look like giant marbles, and they'd be on strings, and they never flew off. I've never had one fly off. I've never. Probably kids were being bad, or maybe they just hit their eye with it, and we never hurt ourselves with it. You hold them and you just click them, and they click up and down. And those were fun. Those are some of the fun things that we had. I'm still stirring this to, you know, I don't know, cream cheese maybe doesn't smash anymore, but I think it's fine. I really do. I can take and blend it up a little bit probably, but it's gonna get stuck in this thing, huh? Should I use a blender, like one of those things that you just, you know, a handheld one? It doesn't melt too much. This is really beautiful though, I'm telling you. I should have just melted it. Make sure you melt your cream cheese enough. Not too much, but enough to where it blends well with the, but I think it's fine. They're not gonna even look at it and say, oh, what are those bumps? They're just gonna eat it because it's gonna be good. So I'm gonna put it in the fridge, or after I finish telling the story, I'll put it in there because then maybe it'll be melting a little bit more. But I was just saying that it's hot, so it should melt a little bit. That's why I'm gonna put our milk away, because you don't want that going bad. You can't eat it with the keto cereal. Remember that stuff? Good. And I don't know if you guys watched that video, but hopefully you watched it. There was a nice video that I made with the cereal. I tried both of them. They were chocolate and cinnamon, and they're keto friendly. And we were doing a seafood boil. So I made me a bowl. You look on the video and you'll see where I ate the keto cereal and with the milk and everything. One of them I ate it without the milk, and I put fruit on it, and I kind of forgot about it. We were like about 20 minutes cooking over here. I said, oh no, my cereal. And you know how you're thinking, oh man, it's gonna be all smushy, and you have to smush it up and still drink it or something because you don't want to waste it. But anyways, what's that? You ain't done yet, baby. Let me check you. Yes, I think those are done, the cakes. But anyways, I'll set this around, and then maybe the heat will kind of generate around that baby. But anyways, I went back to eat it, and I'm like, oh man, cereal. You know how that goes when you're thinking it's all messed up or whatever. No, I don't think it's done. Hold on. I don't have a toothpick, do I? Do you have toothpicks in here? I thought we had some toothpicks left. Okay. But anyways, use chopstick. Yeah, it's not done. It's not done yet. I see the in the middle, and I could tell when I took it out, it was a little juicy. Like, how did the temperature get lowered? What I want to know. Okay, so I put it in a pan that is not normally in, like a loaf pan. So it's splitting like a loaf. But this looks like it's getting a little better. Is it? I'm going to try and blend up a little bit of it in this, let me see. Puree, should I do puree top? not gonna try it. I think it's fine. Yeah, because I can. If this thing will puree it, it's like a. It's a food processor thing. I just have to read some instructions and I have to do it. But really, do I feel like doing it? No, I don't. Take it out. I didn't put it in here right, so I might as well try and see what stuff they made out of this. I'm just thinking to make a good frosting, and then I'll put it in the fridge. I can't even remember what I was telling you guys now, and it was probably a good story too. Sorry about that. I'll look at it, the video later, and then I will go back and say, ooh, I forgot to tell you guys that. So. I'm glad I'm not on camera trying to do this thing. It would be a mess. There we go. Okay, I think that goes down in there. Does that go in there? That goes on top. And I think this other thing doesn't really need to go on there, but it's used for, I know I'm walking like that. I just don't want to drop it. But it's off. I wish I could remember what I was telling you. If I wasn't distracted by that. Does it stay on here right? If I wasn't distracted by and then this goes on. If I wasn't distracted by the oven, which they're not even done anyways, I would have been able to tell you. Watch me break it. Isn't that be terrible? Careful. Go around this way. And then you do it like that. Oh, yes. Okay, let's see if I can do it, guys. I'm going to put it in here just so maybe it'll, you're probably saying, yeah, it ain't going to work if you have this. But I'm trying it anyways. I think I need something to... Okay, you guys, I think I cut off or something. I forgot to put the little black piece in there. Careful. And hold on. Can you guys see? Back some, baby. Okay, there it is. We'll put it in here on high. And this here is for like, oh, it already blended it up. Is for if you want to add to it while you're cooking, I guess. Fruits or whatever. It looks really smooth. So I'm going to add. Gail, are you in here? I think she left me. But you have to put that little blade on there. Or it won't. I was trying to blend it without it. I'm like, hey, I have to have a more amount. I'm like, no, because I remember my daughter making some of those pork skins. They're the pork skin to blend them up, you know, so we can use it for crust on chicken and stuff like that. Low carb. Okay, here we are. We actually say no carb because there's no carbs in those. I don't know where everybody is, but We're gonna have family worship tonight. And I got cake and what is that? Sugar-free cake. And this is our icing, frosting. And I got a lot of stuff to have to clean. But this one I showed a hack that my daughter saw, and you just put the soap in here after you take everything out, and it kind of cleans it a little bit. All right, now y'all, you got some frosting. It's happening. It is happening. Let me try it. Unplug it first. Always unplug your things because you never know. These things can malfunction. Oh, it's a little thinner, but it's frosting material, right? See, you go like this. That's frosting material right there. Tell ya, if you ever run out of frosting or you can't find the sugar-free kind, because they hardly have it. They only have chocolate most of the time, or they don't have the different flavors. Sugar-free. If you ever run out, mix you some pudding, sugar-free pudding, and some cream cheese, and you got yourself some frosting. I'm telling you, it is going to be good, because I'm going to put it in the fridge so it can get cold, and I'll make sure the cakes are cooled down before I put this on there. Yeah, make sure you put it in the fridge for a little bit. That's plenty of ice in there. Okay, we're going to clean this the quick way too. Or not clean it, but we're going to get it started. Taste a little bit more. That's good. So this is going in the fridge. If I can find room. There, put it down in there. Down there. Put it in there. Let it get cold. And then I will be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. While that's cooking, the cake, still cooking, we'll put a couple of drops, dishwashing liquid, a little water. Put your lid back on. Food processor. Got a little bit of frosting on there. Guys, we need frosting. Just go on the internet, go on YouTube. That's our channel, guys, right? That's all our channel. We go on there and look for our friends. Not our friends, but our fellow YouTube people, and you will find what you're looking for on there usually. Okay, then you just turn it on. Careful though, because I think I put a little bit too much water, and then it will overflow. But that kind of gives it a little head start on the cleaning process. Yeah. It's either not on all the way or too much water. But anyways, all you gotta do is do that, and then it gets all that from the bottom out of there and off of the blade. And then you just take it over there, rinse it, and clean it the rest of the way, and should be good to go. Alright, so I'll be back whenever it's time to take the cakes out and icing them. Please like and subscribe. And at the end of that story, the cereal stayed nice and crispy.